Hello. Hello, hello. The Sigma is this Touch Trump remix. Don't you know, Nia? Nier is one of the most renowned RPG series of the recent age. It's so good. You should actually go play both the original that they remaked and the sequel Automata. Do this. I don't really recommend you go play the prequels, which is Drakengard, because the relations to the sequel is kind of whatever. But you should play Nier, both Replicant and Automata. Both are awesome games, and both the soundtracks of both games are if not top 10, if not top 5, at least top 10 best soundtracks ever. Limbus has 1.5 more players than peak Assassin's Creed Shadows. Oh boy. Oh boy. So today we had the new banners, right? The new Ryoshu is on Dispenser. And I think I want to do a little... a quick 10. Just to see what happens. Just to see what happens. Just a little 10. Take a guess of how long it took before they nerfed the new Canto difficulty. I saw it's being nerfed around a few hours ago. I was playing, doing my dailies on the other game I play. And I saw they nerfed it, but I don't know why. So I just saw it happening. But I don't know. I don't really know how much time was before they actually nerfed. A few hours, I guess. Only enough time for people to actually reach the ending. I guess it should be like the last few enemies, and it takes a few hours for the people to reach it. So 3-4 hours into the patch, I guess. Because I just saw the amount of stuff they left on my inbox. But yeah, let's do a quick 10. Just please be a fake out. No fake out. Please be a double fake out. No fake out. Oh shit.
이상이라 부르게. 피쿼드의 1등 항해사를
Pequod mate. Only Pequod mate. God damn it. 2 dupes. Whatever then. Oh yeah, Ryoshu is shard. I'm not gonna spend my Walpurgis fund on this. Voyage. But yeah. Oh, I also have to do the mirror dungeon today. The weekly bonus in the event is already open. So, let's see what happens. But today, boys, we are warping. The first chapter is already first class. We had warping on first class. There's no way, right? There is no way we are going first class. No way. It's already going. Alright, how did this happen? First, we boarded the warp train to get to our next destination, Picor. Got into our fancy first-class flash freeze hibernation capsules and... Wait, we warp on hibernation capsules. This is interesting. We were supposed to arrive at Picor after a quick blink of an eye, but... Dante, please respond. There's... The first thing I saw when my vision returned was the perplexed look on Faust, who had entered her hibernation at the same time as I did. Subtle foreshadowing, sure. They are not even trying to hide. Something happened. Then I realized that we woke up mid-transit on the warp train. Which could only mean that we're now stranded on some lost, unknown dimension. Oh boy. Dante, I understand your considerable degree of disorientation, but... What? What the hell happened? First things first. Let's rewind and return to the very start of this highly unfavorable situation we find ourselves in. A few days ago. This next destination is a warp train, Dante. What? Yep, that's where it all started. There I was, still perplexed by the incidents at T-Corp, with my awful idea of clearing the air by asking Virgilius for our next destination, not knowing the storm that my innocent question would bring. Verily, I must have misheard? I'm quite certain that you didn't, Quixote. We are now en route to the T-Corp warp train station. That warp train station must have some conundrum that must be resolved there indeed. A quest must be swiftly addressed at the station, yes? Oh boy. Did a distortion pop up at one of the warp platforms or something? I see that you are now significantly less disinclined to take on some side jobs, but no. We are boarding the warp train to get to P-Corp. End of the story. There is nothing between the lines, so don't try reading into it. 7 sinners have double copy identities and memories leak over partially. So the double corp is related to the warped... Oh, double. I mean, it took me like a few seconds to put the pieces together, but I see. Everybody went silence. Yeah, it took me a few seconds to realize. It was only natural that the sinners immediately fell into a state of collective dumbfounded shock. None of the sinners have any history of working at Double Corp, but... surprisingly, we know very little corporations' full names. Which... Wait, what was the one? There is one that has the stupidest name ever. And I cannot remember which one is it now. I knew the name, I was making fun of it. But Warp Lobotomy, Nago Unhammer, Sancho Pancho, Igro Industries, and some shit. No, there is one that has a pretty stupid name, but I cannot remember anymore. I should actually look into the company names to remember which one is it. We're actually taking that train. Through what vague information we could gather from the identities, we all had some fragmentary knowledge about the terrible secrets of the warp train's operations. So it really leaks from the identities. So they don't really synchronize everything. They just the IDs only leak a few stuff. That's how. So, interesting. I initially considered hiding this information from the rest of the sinners, but since sharing things with everyone and letting them get their 2 cents, usually ended up being pretty helpful. I've been sharing more and more of these as of late. Though I have very dim, if present at all, recollections from the time during which I wear the identities. 1 second. Pico. Não, pra cá. Fica. My dog is here. It can be determined from the conversational records between the manager and the identities that the mechanism behind the warp train's operations can be deemed as somewhat bizarre and inefficient. Oh yeah, it's that 10-second trip that actually takes a long time, right? And when the train reaches the destination, they just wipe the passengers' memories. What? What? Holy shit, that's such a scam. H Corp name was revealed in New Canto. M was MDM Enterprise. S is Salpipio. This is the one that was a Scorp. It's just a stupid name. I don't know what Salpipio means on Korean, but a little stupid. Reading from the English perspective. This time track, yeah. T-Corp we knew. I also heard that the passengers get so tired and weary that they start literally ripping and tearing into one another. Sounds like I might finally have a chance to see the masterpiece with my own eyes. Even when the sinners wear identities through my identity cards, the identity's memories or beliefs don't bleed into them once it's over and done with. I remember when Faust explained that, due to the risks associated with embracing such influences, there was a filtering process to intentionally block them from reaching the sinners. That's why the sinners could use the identities of some of our worst enemies without getting infected by their philosophies and whatnot. Huh. Which explain N Corp Faust and how we're still alive. But it also meant that they couldn't retain any new information that each identity had to offer. That's why I keep a record of some things that sound particularly important, and sometimes share with the rest of the sinners. My voice doesn't really carry well past the window, so most of our communications are one-sided, but I had an abundance of W Corp identities. No, I don't. That's a lie. You're lying, Dante. I have none. Zero. Please give me charge units. I need a fill. So it wasn't difficult to piece together the truth behind the trains. We have names of only 6 corporations and icons of 8 out of 26. No Z Corp. Last time I speculated that Z Corp wasn't inside the city. Then we hypothesized that it might be underground or on the moon. So each one can be such case when they actually manage to do show it. But maybe ignorance really is the bliss. Your alarmed response and possible incompliance have already been accounted for. Lady False, then thou hast known this all along. Wherefore hast thou not deigned to tell me of this? False has indeed known this all along, as no knowledge is out of False reach. As expected, a solution to your dilemma has already been prepared. I seriously doubt your solution involves not getting on the train. So what is it? The bus. Oh, what about this bus? There's no way this thing fits inside the train car. Karen Vetters too. No one to feed Matthew when Karen's gone. Miss Faust. The rearmost tail cars of warp trains are all freight cars. That is where the Mephistopheles will be safely fastened and transported. And the LCB will have the benefit of boarding as first-class passengers. Bus begins to swell with noise again, though in a slightly different air to the alarm's response from earlier. First-class passengers? What, the seats of those pompous toffs? Even on normal trains, we've got those saws whose proudest accomplishment in life is planting their ass in first-class seats, while no others are cramming themselves into freight cars because they haven't the cash for even an economy ticket. Hey, don't look at me. I've never been in one of those first-class seats before either. Isn't a ticket for a single first-class seat like as expensive as 3-4 months' salary of a first-year wing employee? Can our budget really handle getting a ticket for all of us? The company's budget is not a subject that warrants our concern. I heard first-class passengers get some cool bonus stuff like personalized private capsules or something, don't they? That is the promotional language, yes. They are flash-freeze hibernation capsules, to be precise. They have been designed to easily withstand the true amount of time it takes for the warp train to travel from point A to point B. The trip will be over in a blink of an eye for the passengers. So rich, yet they sold the monolith to a guy very interested about Time Reaper abilities. I think the guy just showed interest. They didn't really sell yet. At least what was I took from the conversation. They're like, you have the monolith, right? I want to buy it. So Virgil's like, sure, we can talk to management. I think that the transaction still hasn't happened, but from how it happened, I'm pretty sure they're gonna sell it. And it might come back to bite our asses for sure in a few years. For sure, it's coming back. The company's regard for our well-being is unfamiliar, yet welcome. To be provided with such extravagance merely for our comfort, such occurrence is quite seldom. Right? I honestly thought they were going to slip just a guide and carry to the first class seats and ship the rest of us in the economy class, which I actually thought they were gonna do. That was my take on the story. This seems like an unnecessary luxury. They should have saved their budget and given only the executive manager and their loyal advisor access to those seats. Oh, jeez. They wouldn't let Dante into economy. Remember, he still has a nuclear explosive inside the head. I think only Faust knows about it. And Otis is just an asshole every time. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're taking the train to get to our next mission, alright? We have to think about the unique nature of warp trains and prepare ourselves accordingly. How many times have you done this, Ishmael? No, nobody's gonna prepare for shit. Right? I know it's first class and all, but warp trains are just plain creepy. I knew you'd also be worried about... For example, economy passengers are going to have a hard time getting to a first-class car. If they can even attempt to open it, I mean. I'm pretty sure the door separating the cars is ironclad. Ishmael, who'd been holding that first-class promotional pamphlet in her hands for a while, was chattering on with fire in her eyes. Oh, she's happy now. We won't even have to lift a finger. We just have to board the train, get into our capsules, shut our eyes and snooze through the entire ride until all that mess in the other cars blows over. I heard they used to give out commemorative merch back when their first finances went into the gutter. Oh, she's gone so crazy for such little. True adventure is not without its hardships. Yet, even the most exalted of heroes cannot venture without respite. And in very rare occasions, the hero may even deign to select a first-class seat to rest in. In a place of quaint inn, indeed, indeed. Seems like everyone was at least somewhat interested in the fabled first-class seats of warp trains. He doesn't know. Oh boy. I could sense that there was a growing consensus among the sinners that even a warp train trip might be acceptable if it meant that they could ride in the first-class seats. I will board the train if I must. Is first-class seating mandatory? I prefer the scenic route. I don't want to miss out on all the fun. Oh, only the crazy girl wants to go economy. Only the crazy girl. Also, I forgot something. Give me 1 second. Okay, much better. Virgilius pretended to not hear Ryoshi's question. Oh no. The only sad person to taking the for taking the first class seats. Very well. Then I assume that we are all in agreement. Let's go. I have a matter of great import to discuss with thee. What is it? Out of it, less beating around the bush and like you? Don Quixote carefully began, almost whispering in a low voice. That is, in the first class seats? I have heard tell that we must board with our feet freed from our boots. Does that claim hold water? Oh boy. We are finally getting the explanation. Oh, come on now. What kind of nonsense gossip is this coming from this time? It's no gossip, forsooth. I have overheard aught from those we have walked past here today, and when one of them inquired, you know that you gotta go barefoot in first class, right? The other responded with, of course, man, what am I, stupid? Doth the traveler speak true, Ishmael? She's crying. Oh no. Don't ask me? I've never been on one of these either. I don't remember seeing anything like that on the pamphlets. Give me a sec. I mustn't be separated from Rocinante, even for a twinkle. I shan't toss Rocinante to the side next to such vulgarities like the ugly shows of Sir Heathcliff. Yeah, I heard about that. The walking on coal events, I could use the soldier's ID, I think, to skip it, so I used it. But since I skipped it, I couldn't see the multiplier. She has a -99 multiplier, so she couldn't ever clear the event. But I still didn't know why. And now she's going over it again, but I still don't know why. It's not. There should be something more besides her not wanting to walk barefoot. There is something else there. Oh, you little. Implore thee, O illustrious red gaze, pray thee, grant me thy permission and allow me to board with Rocinante. I expected Virgilius to answer with an unusual and exasperated rebuff. Contrary to my expectations, however, he responded in a somewhat serious tone, if tempted by that familiar annoyance. Fine, keep your shoes on. Oh boy. Oh boy. Why? I kinda really interested in it now. The Northern Fixer. Oh, a new fixer? A new character? This place is huge. That was my first impression of the warp train station. Oh, so this is... Don Quixote shouted vibrantly, immediately recovered from her previous apprehension of the sheer possibility that she might be separated from Rocinante. The entire game was in the south part of the city so far. Huh, that explains a lot, actually. We still haven't ever barely touched the space of the city. There's so much to see still. So each nest has one of these massive structures in them. I got nothing. Wait, know anything about what they're asking? Heathcliff asks, gesturing toward Merceau with his chin. Every watering station has been built with a general design philosophy that draws from the respective nest architectural idiosyncrasies. It can also be said that many critics in relevant fields praise the watering stations as one of the many cultural cornerstones of the city. I have no idea when it happened, but Heathcliff started treating Merceau like a walking encyclopedia from time to time. Merceau, young Merceau. Lo, is that passenger over yonder one from the west? Every time he's thinking, there is a sound of something like coins on a pocket. I'm not sure why. Every single time he's thinking, that sound happens. Incorrect. Leather-based clothing and metal armor are predominant fashion trends often visible in the outfits of the Western population. While that individual's cloth-based style is something ubiquitously observed throughout the population of North and South, they are largely considered to be an Eastern fashion trends, rarely seen among Western. Prithee, slow thyself, for I must make a record of thy lectures. Why is she trying to mimic him? Why the fuck is she trying to mimic him? What wisdom does thou have to impart regarding the fashion of the northern region? I have once espied in a magazine that they are garbed in puffy, loose-fitting outfits, understandably so given the colder climate of the region. An opportunity for a first-hand observation stand before you. He teleported in here. What? I can't scream. I cannot scream. 3 seconds of screaming do it. One of utter fascination and another of unmitigated frustration. What the shit? You nearly blew out my eardrums. I don't want to talk. Dude, I've got an audible frequency range expansion implant in my eardrums. Holy shit, man. Now get the hell out of my way. You're blocking the walkway like a ragtag band of hacks who's never ever seen a watering before. Oh boy. So hey Jason. I need more XP, I can say the same. I'm pretty much drained of my resources. I've leveled my characters to 45 and now I have nothing left. Damn it, I take the train all the way here for an expedition only to lose my targets, and now these assholes are trying to blow out my eardrums. Great, just great, I love this. Guys, is it that obvious that we've never been on a warp train before? I need more XP before they nerf the fight. Wasn't the Intervallo already nerfed? Or is it still gonna happen? It was, so they're going to nerf it again? Like 3 times? 3 times? Holy shit. Holy shit. Dawn disappointed me. That's a skill issue. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. First tried it with Rupture. Oh boy. But Rupture is now saved, so you cannot complain about using Rupture. My Rose Span Egregor was rolling better than my manager Don. That's something. That's something. So it's not a focus encounter. Oh, so the skill is a lot how you say it? you can't really influence nearly as much on normal encounters. I see why. So let's see here. And the round trip ticket fee came straight out of my damn pocket. Whoa, watch out, big fella. Someone might get seriously hurt if you keep swinging those forearms around, each holding a weapon to boot. But prithee, wilt thou stand still but a moment to satisfy my few inquiries of mine regarding thy outfit? Oh, yes, stand in absolute stillness for 5 minutes and I... Furiously... The fixer, with a particularly impressive set of prosthetic arms, spent a few minutes venting several of his numerous grievances at us before storming off to a different platform. Ah, indeed, it grants the city of sundry odd personalities. I'm pretty sure he was thinking the same thing. I guess there really are a lot of people in the city with full body prosthetics. That's when Virgilius slowly walked up to our group. Well then, we'll rendezvous at the destination. With the illustrious red gaze not right alongside us? Ricardo announced the best part. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like announcers. Usually my reasoning for not liking announcers is they are speaking when I'm thinking. So I'm trying to understand what's happening and they are just mumbling. It might be just Virgilius, because Virgilius speaks so slowly and so long. And while I'm trying to put the pieces together for what I'm supposed to do, the motherfucker's just like grumbling. So I used him like for like 3 battles. 3 battles I used them and I just got pissed off and disabled it. But I know Ricardo won't shut up. Will not shut up. The only one you should use is Dawn. I actually have Announcer Dawn. I could try. Remind me of equipping it. I have her from the battle pass. The W Corps policy demands that fixers bestowed with a color title must board the train especially prepared for them instead. Oh, are you like riding the first class plus or something? That's a collar fixer for you, I guess. Special treatment from the wings or no matter where he goes. Caron wants to go back to Matthew. Matthew will be lonely. I've told you before, Caron, 3 separate times actually. Each time I bought you one of those candies. That's cute actually. He's buying her candies. He's bribing her with candies. That people aren't allowed aboard the freight cars. Then Miss Faust. This is not a special treatment, it's preventing a fucking disaster. Yeah, the guy is a walking calamity. That's for sure. Yes. Virgilius, after exchanging a knowing look and a nod with Faust, escorted the particularly peeved Caron away. There's a story of a caller who went on a warp train when it arrived. I can only imagine. Hundreds or even thousands of W Corp employees were trying to stop him. Yeah, I could only imagine. Holy shit. They had to call another wing just to stop the guy. Up until now, I only know about the Indigo Elder and the Red Gaze. I don't think Siegfried was a caller. Only a high tier fixer, I guess. So I'm kinda interested in what the other colors are. Unless the game actually tells me, I'm not gonna look at. I'm not gonna try to find about them. The surprise should be The surprise should be a better reaction. The Grass Maiden from Random Mansion in Canto 1. I only heard the name, I have no idea who it is. Most stuff are Reina. Oh, I see. A good incentive to actually play Reina then. I still gotta buy it. Followed false guidance to the entrance of our train car. Damn. Whoa, hey, our colors are starting to come back. Oh, hey, this must be the favorable complimentary food and drink of the first class seats. Heck yeah, of course. Quality stuff like this gotta be included in that insane pricing. Rina reveals a lot of shit you'd be surprised. I imagine it would. I still gotta play it. Yeah, one day. The general response to this room was a surprise at the rows upon rows of expensive-looking sizable capsules. Flash freeze hibernation, huh? I guess it literally freezes our bodies in a flash. Faust, are these flash freeze hibernation devices safe? Limbus is still in baby territory lore-wise. I can see it happening because Limbus, being a live service game, they shouldn't make you, they shouldn't bombard you with lore so soon. It has to happen slowly throughout the years. But there is such a huge amount of lore already on the other two games that this is basically intended for the new players that have played none of the other games, which also kind of pisses off a lot of the hardcore players, I guess, because they want to see the huge stuff as soon as possible, but they can only wait. It's a 10-year plan, yes. I also saw how the CEO wants to make power creeping happen because of lore reasons. They plan on making powerful characters be actually powerful in the game. But they've been talking about the yeah. Exactly. He's trying he wants to make powerful characters be really powerful in the game to reflect the lore reasons. So when we finally reach the color tier power, the colors will be like Virgilius in Canto 6. Isang was just a poor move. Just a poor move. Please elaborate on your exact definitions of safe. These things are supposed to freeze us solid, right? Can we really come back from something like that? A flash freeze hibernation device will put you in a temporary state of death, caused by rapid cellular cryopreservation process. However, the rapidity of the process prevents damage to your cells during the phase change. Therefore, in most normal cases, this will not cause any issues. Also is aware that this model has fully resolved cell membrane breaching issues caused by cryogenic density change, or by ice crystal growth of water molecules. I missed about half of what you said, but your point is that it's safe, right? Yes, as far as Faust is aware, even if an issue were to arise during the journey, because everyone will be reverted to their states at the beginning of the train trip upon arrival, there won't be any lasting complications from the said problem. How about freezing a flaming clock? I mean, Dante has a lot of his entire body is a little out of the normal. It's a little unusual. It was what I was looking for. So I'm slightly concerned about what's going to happen to him. Got some real talent in dragging out something so simple as "yeah, it's safe" to so many words, seriously. Indeed, as far as false talents are not limited to a singular field. Okay, but that still leaves a lot to be worried about. Just as I was wondering, however, I realized that there was something odd about the way she phrased that answer. His head is fine, but his head is not is not a normal prosthetic. It has a lot of unusual stuff inside it, meaning golden bow power. As far as False is aware, are you saying that it could be wrong? As a general rule, False does not err. However, False is also not a divine being. There are certain information in the world that False is yet to have access to. Therefore, while False may speak the facts, she's speaking facts. What is said may not always align with the truth. Okay? She's spitting facts. They don't call first class for nothing. I guess B Corps is way up there in the northernmost corner of the city, but this thing will take us there in the blink of an eye, huh? That's one of a hell of a time saver. Boss knows everything. Who's the leader of the head? What's her usual response to the stuff she doesn't know? I forgot. She has a phrase like false is not has not become a false that's privy to that information yet, or something. It is either she becomes silent, or she has a default that she always says when she doesn't know yet. Ho ha, ho ha, ho ha. Prepare thyself, Rocinante. Thus begins the long jaunt. Oh, I've been meaning to ask, Don Quixote. Do you ever, wash those shoes? Where did that come from, Rhodia? No, I mean, think back to when we were inside that whale. When that whale blew up, we got all kinds of its gross, slimy bits on us. They were on our clothes or shoes, everything. Oh no. No, please say you do. Please. Wait. Yeah. And do you remember how much we had to scrub to get that bloody, fishy, fleshy gunk out of our clothes? This really isn't something I want to revisit, but yeah. Right, and do you remember how Don Quixote never took her shoes off during that whole ordeal? Oh boy. Okay, I guess they do look a bit filthy. I ask thee, dear compatriots, hast thou ever witnessed an errant knight who leaves their side of the beloved steed? Can't say I ever witnessed a knight before, though. Then thou shalt know, starting now. Behold it, hearken to it, and remember it well. They don't spare us even a moment of quiet, do they? Whoa, have you been on one of those, Otis? I have been treated to premium VIP seats of similar grandiosity back when. This is nothing to fuss over. Otis, who was sitting there and shaking her legs, suddenly asked Faust a question. Hey, you're confident that no accident ever occurs on one of these first-class cars, yes? In order to prevent cases of unnecessary anxiety and misgivings among the sinners, the history of accidents that has occurred aboard warp trains will not be shared. God damn it. Oh boy. Oh shit. Wait, what the? Beep? Oh, I think we're leaving soon. This is for Warp Train PW612 bound for P Corp. Boarding period is ending soon. The sinners who were either leisurely enjoying their complimentary snacks or taking a look around the first-class car suddenly became a lot busier. Then let us hurry and enter our capsules before it's too late. Oh no, why isn't this... The other sinners made it into their capsules, no problem, but... I felt like I was the only one who's fumbling. Is it anxiety, Dante? I think so. Initiating warp in 10 minutes. Allow me to assist you. Stand as though you are leaning back, and... Falls expertly guided me into the capsule as though she's done something like this before. Then press the button inside the capsule that closed the hatch. Do not worry too much. I just saw it. I just saw it. That's done. That's done. She has a badge in the chest. Shit. Why? Why can't she do something normal? Why can't you be normal for once? We'll meet again in but a moment, Dante. Thought I heard a brief sigh, but the hatch shut tightly before I could ask her anything. Initiating Wah. Please confirm that your seatbelts are firmly fastened. The last thing I saw before my capsule began to fill with gas was False climbing into her own capsule opposite to mine. I had no idea then. Oh boy. What she really meant by we will meet again in but a moment. Pick up, right? The destination, right? Huh? Dante, you must wake up. Dante? But one thing I knew for sure was... an inconceivable situation has occurred. That something had seriously gone wrong. If you tell me all of this happened because Dawn wore her boots, I have no idea how to react if that's what's happening here. But I'm sure it's not that. It's something else. Somebody else did some bad shit, right? Okay, let's go. Okay, still no battles. Disappearing passengers, the name of the chapter. You can imagine the fandom after this Intervallo dropped. Why exactly? I know people were bitching about the difficulty if nerfs happens, but was the Intervallo bad or something? Besides it being difficult? I have no idea what's going on. No idea. It dropped the biggest lore bomb. Oh boy. Oh boy. I see, alright. Okay, so shit is happening. Who was foot fetish? Oh, we are dealing with foot fetish right now. And the foot fetish is about Dawn's dirty, moldy feet. We're here already? Wow, I guess it wasn't it wasn't an exaggeration at all. It all really happened in a blink of an eye. As always, Voss was giving me her usual look, which was a complete lack of any emotive expression. Which I suppose is why it didn't immediately register that something had gone awry. No, we are not yet at our destination. Huh? When I finally came to, and after I had some time to digest that odd reply, I looked up at her face once again, and realized that her expression was more antsy than usual by a microscopically minuscule degree. Oh boy. So this train is still running. Yes. It's this one. Like this. Then, where are we? Believe we are currently stranded in an unidentified dimension. Coordinates unknown. I took a reflexive deep breath from the sheer horror of the numerous implications stuffed into that dryly delivered sentence. Oh shit. When that passed, the first thing that struck my mind was that we were about to suffer the very thing that we were so worried about. I see. But I soon found myself calming down. Yeah, this had to be a part of Fall's plan. She probably saw this coming from a mile away. I'm sure she's about to proudly tell me every little detail of her plan that will help us out of this situation, right? Right? But this is all just part of the plan, right, Faust? Silence. That was unusually long silence from Faust. You are half correct, yet half incorrect. With that, Faust left me to flounder in the chaotic stream of vaguely terrifying information as she began stopping by each capsule to wake the sinners. Oh, we're here already? Man, really happened in a blink of an... No. Oh, what's this? We're here already? For real? It really happened in the blink of a... No. Wow, we're here already? I guess it really was roaring over nothing. No. Oh, no. Yet I have... Yet I have not uttered a single word. There was a brief cheer, a little hurrah about regaining our colors, followed by a flat-toned explanation of our current predicaments, which is then followed by a long, loaded silence, which was a sequence of events that I had the pleasure of watching play out about 10 consecutive occasions. Oh shit. Dante? I understand your confusion. However, perhaps an elaboration of our present circumstance is necessary. And that brings us to the present. So, let me get this right. This train is still running. And we're drifting through some unknown dimension. Ooh, out about striketh me as quite dramatic. Sometimes I cannot understand a single word she says. Jesus Christ. How can someone speak as politely as she does and be incomprehensible as she is? Most importantly, are you saying that you already knew that this would happen, Faust? Yes. Huh. What the hell is wrong with you, huh? The sinners each begin to voice their anger. Of course, this wasn't the first time Faust and Virgilius intentionally and knowingly omitted certain details about the events in our path. Wait, are you insane? It's not like we can just retreat or jump out that door when stuff hits the fan. Opening the doors will result in a nearly immediate destruction of the physical body. But hey, Faust, at least you know what to do like you always do, right? You got a plan, right? Right. Faust, whom I had rarely ever seen at a loss for words, was unusually slow to respond. What's up with her? Les looks totally out of it today. She gives me a sideways glance. There must be something she can't discuss in front of the other sinners. Guys, let's pause for a bit. She said that something inconceivable has happened. The other sinners' anger was completely understandable. It also makes sense that this continued lack of communication was harming our trust in Faust. Alright, we're going to go over the situation from the start, okay? But just letting things play out might really turn everyone against Faust, and for good. Besides, I doubt Faust woke us up in the middle of the trip just to spite us. First things first, I gotta get the sinners to calm down. Then I'll ask Faust to tell us what happened. If there's a problem, we'll figure it out and deal with it as we move along. Tell us what's going on. All of it, and in a way that we can all understand. Let's hear her out first. Is that okay with you guys? If you say so, I'll go along with it. I suppose losing my rag rarely ever did anything. Thank you. Then, after some time, the gist of Paul's explanation was as follows. The cause of this issue, as always, involved a certain contract and a unilateral decision from the higher-ups of Limbus Company. What? Okay, there's probably something on the freight cost. Something dangerous. W Corp caught wind of Limbus Company's recent distortion contract management promotions. Oh, it's a distortion. And decided to contract us to deal with the mysterious repeated series of incidents suspected to have been caused by distortion. After multiple failed attempts to resolve it on their own, of course. Limbus heard Yoshi's request for a scenic route. Oh, we are going the scenic route for sure. It's gonna be scenic as fuck. The distortions themselves likely did not pose a problem for W Corp. Based on the available information, it can be determined that they would have all been neutralized as soon as the train arrived, and any transformed passengers would have been reverted to their human forms. But the real issue was that the passengers were disappearing. Passengers spirited away? Alas, such is an impossibility aboard this train, is it not? That is the question for which we must discover the precise cause and effect of. Did W Corp share anything to get us started? That appears to be most prominent cause of this misunderstanding. She explained that W Corp refused to share anything about the trains because they were concerned about maintaining the secrets of their singularity. Distortion can rip out. I'm sure they can bypass W Corp stuff. Probably. I think the case here might be something like a huge distortion happens, and during the warping, a mirror dungeon opened or something, and like happened, made like a warping inside a warp or something. Something went really wrong. Maybe that's exactly why they sought out an upstart business like Limbus Company to deal with this, now that I think about it. You wouldn't even know where to start if didn't have access to the information that the identity cards had to offer. Pauls produced what appears to be a keycard with W Corp logo on it before continuing with their explanations. However, we were given this master key card that can open and close the hibernation capsule at will. Fun fact, using skill 3 of W Corp identity during battles makes everything glitch in alarm start playing for a while. Huh. Okay, I see. So I have yet to actually use any W Corp units ever. We may return to our respective capsules as soon as the contract is fulfilled and safely complete the rest of the journey as we had planned from the beginning. Take a support for the gunfights. I might. I gotta find. I think I have at least a Faust. So we should be fine to get AW Corp units. These bloody wings, every single one of them has been absolutely barmy. I think it's been a bit unkind of them to ask us to finish the puzzle without all the important pieces. At least at the Corp, their chief executive director tagged along as our assistants, not to mention the kindly explaining so many new things to us. Please never mention this guy again. Please never mention this guy again. False will not work. I can look for someone else then. The only one I remember is Faust. Faust, Honglu, and Mersol. I see. I think there's No, there's no Ryoshu on my friends list. I have to look for one. It sounds like Miss Faust was stuck between a rock and a hot place for herself. Some sinners grew more receptive after her explanations, albeit with a sigh. Ah, I would have appreciated if you at least gave us a hint. W Roshi is the strongest. Yeah, I know she's highest tier. Oh, okay, thank you. It might be enough time for me to actually reach the battles. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but it's not like there's something out there monitoring your every move and every word, right? Oh boy. Hey, probably there is. Ah. But not everyone was willing to let this go without saying their piece. The fourth and random update. Oh boy. The nerf is happening once again. Next time, I will take your inputs into account. And that is everything I can do for her. It's an undeniable truth that Faust has disappointed the sinners with what she's done. But she's Faust after all. I'm sure she has a backup plan of backup plans to get us out of the situation. So, what's the next on our agenda? Yeah, what's done is done, right? Besides, it's not like we gotta rot away for thousands of years inside this metal box. That is something I must first discuss with Dante. Discuss? But discussing things with other people is very unlike Faust. What are we discussing, Faust? We must converse in a lower volume, Dante. Why are we whispering? Her secretive attitude only exacerbated my already battered sense of safety. My connection to the Gesso shaft, Faust, has been severed. Oh. Ew. Oh boy. This is why she's anxious. It's like the PC has no internet anymore. Oh boy, this is going to be such a disaster. I'm sorry, what? I cannot access false knowledge at the moment. I guess I really was right to be anxious. Oh boy, so now the smart false became the Faust meme. Inaccessible. So, we can battle now. What do you do? Poise bleeds? Poise? Oh, new poise unit. Any passives? Nice. I have to actually have poise to inflict additional bleeds. Jesus Christ. What? Nobody's using the event units. Okay, I have access to one event unit, so he's gonna be my support for until I actually buy the Otis. She cannot use her own katana, but now she has a katana. It's a lot of charge that I can barely use. So, by the way, I leveled a few of my units to 45 because last stream was such a disaster that I now felt complies to the. Yeah, I'm gonna use W Cop to see the animation happen and then bring the event bonus. Until I buy my own Otis. And then I can just bring both of them. What do you mean, can't? I mean it in the most literal sense. My access to false input in information, which has always been readily available, is completely severed. Oh, what if everything about this situation is something you don't have access to yet? Like you said last time. One cannot completely dismiss the possibility, but even that is uncertain. Every answer False has given me was always full of confidence, methodical expertise. I don't think she's ever said a sentence that was this full of speculation and doubt. Then, Faust, you are? Yes, at this moment I am limited to operating only within my knowledge. Faust has just been using Google for answers. Yeah. She's ChatGPT. He's using ChatGPT every single time. Surely the fight doesn't end before you should draw skill 3. I can just withdraw if that happens. Or something. I cannot discern the cause of this disconnection. More than enough precautions have likely been taken in case of interdimensional travel, but perhaps Faust did not take into account an occasion at which we may have to access an unidentified why is it so hard to say? Unidentified dimension such as this, or even if it was taken into account, this particular dimension may not yet have been subject to cross-observation. Jesus Christ, speak. Can you speak normally for once? Jesus Christ. If that is not the case, then no, never mind. It was not. Are you okay? Are you okay? My dog just jumped up for no reason. What you doing? What the fuck is he doing? He saw something, and now he's going slightly crazy inside my room. There was nothing that suggested that my connection to False would be lost. Not even as we boarded the train. To be honest, this is a rather disagreeable situation for me. Alright, for now that changes everything. I recall the last things I saw before the hatch on the capsule closed, when False told me not to worry too much. Que foi, mano? He's jumping around for no reason. What the fuck is he doing? I don't care. Okay, this is just a minor setback. Nothing we can beat, right? We got this. I began to mutter like I was trying to convince myself. As the manager, my job is to calm everyone down and set the sights on the future, just as Faust did for me immediately before the hatch closed. If you're right about why you were disconnected, then that problem will solve itself once we're off the train. And if we do ever run out of options, I'll just turn the clock and see what happens. Don't stress yourself too much. We still have a lot of work to work with. Your knowledge, my clock, they're seen us, and I could feel my confidence taking a hit with every word that came out of my metaphorical mouth. But that seemed to be enough for Faust. She nodded. Understood. And to the sinners? The fact that we are currently confined to our train in operation must be a source of enough stress. I believe that sharing Faust's current state with them would add to an unnecessary source of tension. What, so wrecking this door ain't gonna do anything? We're all going to bite it once it opens? How many times do I have to tell you that you're not even strong enough to break this door down? A billion years in this box. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, good idea. So, what now? Do we have to take a searching sweep around each car or something? In the great scheme of things, yes. Pause clear the air with a cough before continuing. By ACOF standards timescale, approximately three days have passed since our departure. As per the contract between Limbus Company and the W Corp, I acquired the master key card placed inside my capsule and adjusted the hatch settings to open automatically in 3 days. 3 days, huh? I feel like I just blinked, and I guess that's hibernation for you. As you were all informed prior to boarding, there is no way for the economy class passengers to enter the first class car. That is why this place has remained untouched. However, cross-referencing my own deductions and W Corp's rather fragmentary explanations, I can assume that the situation is currently under progress in the economy class cars. The part where they thrash the shit out of one another, tearing their limbs off and all that mess. There is no way for the economy class to enter first class. Yeah, sure. That's what they all say. No, I doubt that. I don't think it gets that bad in just 3 days. Besides, that's supposed to be business as usual for W Corp, right? There must be something else that's out of the ordinary that they want us to deal with. Precisely. In my opinion, it is... Oh, hold that thought, but for a moment. Just as Faust was about to continue, Don Quixote raised her index finger to her lips and signaled to her to be quiet. Dost thou hear aught as I do? Scratching, nay, rapping. Forsooth, past this gate must be, As Don Quixote kept listening with her ear to the door, an odd expression half curiosity, half horror, appeared on her face. Is it possible that there must be, Lady Faust? After that very distressful noise, everyone simultaneously turned their heads to look at Faust, who closed her eyes briefly in thought. Please step aside for a moment, Don Quixote. It would be best if I observed with my own eyes. With that, she produced the master key card from her pocket and approached the panel installed next to the door. Whoa, hang on a minute. You're going to open the door? I intend to follow your usual flavor of suggestion, Heathcliff. She smiles for that. That there are times which physical altercation is preferable to detached ruminations. My suggestion? Well, I ain't going to disagree with you there, but what's gotten into you, lass? After all, how could I deduce anything without seeing it myself? Blip. After a brief mechanical beep. Oh boy. Hideous creatures suddenly crashed through the open door and charged wildly in our direction. Oh boy. So... Craving blood-bag passenger. They are actually pretty fucking cool. So which skill is the envy? I can just try to go slower. As long as we don't wipe them out, we can try to push up a skill 3. So still no envy. We can just go slow. Also, the music's pretty cool. As usual. Okay, skill 3 is here. There is only one wave, so I'm gonna pop it. I'm gonna pop it just to see it happen. Okay, let's look into it. 15 charge. We can just see it first. If it doesn't happen, we can try again sometime later. Ah, come on! I wanted to see the full animation. The guy had to die in like a single attack.
너희의 무기로 이 혈투를 승리로 이끌겠다. 산초류 경륜을
에이딘가?
귀는 내가 봐주지.
Yeah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. One day we will see the alarm. Lady False, however similar in appearance they may have been to the passengers. Verily, it is as though they were in complete want of sense. Like people palidified by the whale. It really seems to be a little close to that effect. Don Quixote hesitated until the last second to raise her weapon against them. She hung her head mournfully. Normally, False would have told her more information about those monsters before the fight began. And she would not have she would not have been burdened by the sheer thought of bringing harm to the innocent. False began searching the area, closely observing various bodies and the general area for information. You appear particularly inquisitive today, Miss Faust. Yeah. Aren't you usually the one who has all the answers while we're racking our brains trying to come up with something? The sinners were starting to feel that there's something off about Faust's behavior. They might even soon realize that there's something wrong with Faust. Don Quixote? They are not dead. Huh? Observe closer. The parts are all tethered to one another by something, are they not? Oh ho! It appears that the flow of time has ceased in this space. Therefore, it follows that the connections that tether the bodies of life and away from death remain intact. To my relief, Faust managed to correctly figure out what's going on like her usual self, even if it took her slightly longer than it usually does. Hey, what did I say? We got this. What was that about? Nothing. But I'd forgotten that not all sinners were content with nodding along to whatever information Faust told us. The flow of time is seized aboard the warp train, is it? Ethan grew pensive, seeing that Faust's lips parted for a moment before closing shut. I was starting to get a good read of her expressions. There was an unmistakable look of regret, however short-lived. Albeit, would it not be more accurate to muse that the flow of time has decelerated to the point to where, to an extra-dimensional observer, it has slowed to a stop? What is your perspective regarding this suggestion? Yes, that is most rational. 1 second. Oh boy, the usual. Oh boy. That is a most rational suggestion, is saying. Did Miss Faustus get something wrong? Wow, Isen sure is a time expert, right? Can you summarize it in a easier language now that we're talking about it anyway? Gladly, if you allow me. Isen began to elaborate with gentle enthusiasm. That was close. To speak in brevity, it can be said that death is not an element of aboard this train. And can you maybe speak in a little less brevity? To elaborate? Verily, this one's heart beats still. Don Quixote lowered her head and listened closely to what appeared to be a dismembered torso. and slowly shouts with relief. That ain't... Okay. That's weird. That's hella weird. Their state is akin to an assembled jigsaw puzzle. So no head, no arms, no legs. But heart still beats. Oh boy. Their state is akin to an unassembled jigsaw puzzle, merely immobilized and separated. Though their corpus have been sundered, their concept of death is at a state of, for all intents and purposes, eternal delay aboard this train. Existence in continuance of moratorium. Thus, they are to be tethered upon the thinnest yet tenacious thread of life. I ill understood what hath been said here, yet they are not dead all the same. If their severed parts are all connected, then it can be said that no matter how entangled their bodies become, it is not impossible to eventually gather their parts together to form a single passenger. Thus, naturally, we can determine how and why the profession W Corp cleanup agent has come to be. Okay, this is going so many places. So many places. I see. Because someone will have to categorize and reconstruct these puzzles once the journey is over. It's really baffling to me that a job like this even exists. Ever seen a wing that wasn't baffling in every sense of that word? Still, I guess that means that as long as the train arrives at the station, they'll all be put together like nothing happened. Which is why they erase our memories. Because if you remember, we were dismembered entirely and put back together, people would go crazy. From what I learned through the W Corp identities, their main job was to gather chunks of flesh together and bring them back to their original shapes before they boarded the trains. Oh boy. This is too much. This is too much. It's a lot more visceral than when I have to look at it in person. Ooh, that is quite the auspicious news among ill tidings indeed. It soon clicked in me what Foss was, though with some awkward effort, trying to do as I watched Don Quixote sigh with relief. Maybe Foss was trying to cheer Don Quixote up in her own way. The other Foss would not find it even necessary to do something like that. Dante? Huh? What's up? Oh, time to whisper, right? Indeed. I intend to collect further intelligence. Well, if there's anything I can tell you... Faust cast a dark gaze towards the chunks of flesh. Her gaze remained fixed upon them as she whispered. Are they distortion or abnormalities? Oh yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about that. Because they reload the save of yourself when you boarded the train. It's pretty much the same. Like they are doing the Dante work. I just realized that going the economy way is like how, since you don't go into a cryogenic sleep, they basically kill you and revive you at the destination. So that is why the blink of an eye happens, because you died all the time the trip was happening. Oh boy. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Just the concept is making me like... I got the chills just thinking about this. They weren't humans, that's for sure. From them, I felt the same sensation I felt from monsters. Something inexplicable, an unclear sensation or aura. I felt this somewhere before, I'm sure of it, but I couldn't quite pinpoint the source of this sensation. One thing I do know for sure is that the sensation was not the same feeling I got from abnormality, distortion, or even the Pecatula. If I had to lean on one way or the other, I'd say they're closer to distortions. I'm sorry, I don't think they're either one of those. Is it difficult to be certain at the moment? Again, I'm not sure how I can explain this, but they're very, very similar to distortions, but also different. If you had to ask, then I'm gonna guess Faust doesn't know. Faust may know, but I, at this moment, have no way of knowing. The cells in your body are not the same ones as the 7 years ago. Are you yourself 7 years ago? Is the how is it called? The thing about the Odyssey, like when was it Achilles, the guy that traveled in a boat, and they rebuilt the boat so many times that no pieces of the boat are the same as when the trip started. Is it still the same boat? Is Iliad the name? The boat swap all pieces metaphor. Theseus is just that's the ship of Theseus paradox. I knew it was one of the guys, Achilles, Theseus, or someone that I always forget the names. But is Theseus the one on the Iliad or the Odyssey? I can't remember though. I'm shitty on history stuff. I can't. I always forget stuff, names especially. I feel like I should apologize for that. Same. But yeah, that one metaphor is I like it quite much. There is no need, Dante. Though the information you have provided me is rather ambiguous, it has helped me deduce from something of worth. And collecting intelligence myself and creating deductions based on sparse information, it is quite... She paused, holding a bloody, slimy chunk of flesh in her hands. Did she just smile to herself with gore in her hands? Ooh, finally the awakening has begun. Ryoshu is so happy. Because Faust has a few screws loose. We always knew that. Multi-crack, I know this name. I know this name. After a round of intelligence gathering from Faust, we opened the door to the next cabin, only to be greeted by a loud commotion. It sounds like there are other survivors. Ah, passengers in danger. Worry not, for I have arrived to... Yeah. Whoa, don't come any closer. Who the hell are you guys? Just like the identities that release with the even like current ratio. I know nothing about the ratio, so I'm missing the point here. I didn't get it. Oh, that's the guy we bumped into, I think. It's a woman. A four-armed woman suddenly jumped in our path. She appeared without warning. I know the Heisho is the Otis and the Osho. I don't know about the organization, association. It's the first time I actually heard the name, so I have no idea who they are. Paul stumbled a little, inadvertently slapped by the figure's swinging arms as she pushed us away. Like they are always related to the Intervallo story they release with. I see. I see. Right, like you gave me any warning before you practically kicked that door open. Outside of the chickens. We have the sous chef Gregor and Chef Brioche. We had ruinous chefs completely unrelated to the Limbus story. Oh, I see, I see. Which is pretty much a joke on the KFC Intervallo anyways. Would you mind moving that sword out of our faces? It's a bit threatening. Threatening? I'm just trying to protect those civilians in this car. Also, is that a bioprosthetic? Must be an old timer, huh? I thought those things went out of style forever ago. Oh, you wanna see what this old timers got left in them? Ah, thou art from the north, verily? Thy garb is that of nothingness, no? It's really in the timeless. Anyways, look like we're the same mess here. Make way for us, yeah? She seemed to be sizing us up for a moment. Nah, how do I trust you? Got any proof that when beaten, I'm not gonna let all my effort protecting this place will go to waste? Bitten? The bloody hell are you talking about? Weird, you look completely lost. If you were in one of the economy cars, I'm sure you've seen... Hold on. Are y'all from the first class car? Yeah, we just woke up from our capsules. But none of you look very... I mean, aren't first class seats supposed to be, well... Why did you say so from the get-go? Name Sasha, Motorcrack Officer Rep. With that, she lowered her weapons and allowed us to pass. Have you not left this car for the duration of the ride, Sasha? No, I haven't. We walked over to take off after picking up one of the contracts, but geez, can you believe that this train broke down? Shit, is it even broken? I'm not feeling hungry or sleepy at all. It stinks of some shady bullshit, if you ask me. You can feel all that even in a prosthetic body? Man, how could I live without my favorite hobby, drifting into a sweet nap after a pleasant meal? So I had made sure to get high quality parts for them, so I can still feel hungry or sleepy. Huh. That's a favorite hobby? Hasn't something else of note also occurred? You bet your ass did something else of note go down. How distracting. Is it hard for you to speak without being so hyper? Or at least stop swinging your arms around like that? Can't do that, friend. I broke all my prosthetic arms in a fight, so I'm calibrating a new set. Gotta keep swinging them if I want to sync them up with the other parts anytime soon. Anywho, I just don't know what the hell's going on, but people started turning into some weird monster all of a sudden. Haven't a goddamn clue as to who they are. Don't seem like they understand us either. Good thing my train car didn't have a lot of those monsters. I just chopped what monsters there were to pieces and hauled the civilians to this vacant car. Stop. 3201 red colors, 3202 red colors. The guy is counting sheep. You have decided to protect them, despite the potential risk that they may transform as well. But of course, it is expected duty of any valorous fixers to stand guard in front lines against evil to protect the weak. I've been keeping a close eye on them for the last 3 days, and so far, 0 transformations. Go past this car and you'll see what the hell on earth they really means. Those monsters are constantly trying to claw their way to the front of a train, so if you ask me, I'd wager that some shit went down there at one of the train cars in the back, and it spread like wildfire till it reached here. I see. And that's all I can tell you about the situation. So, what's your story? Why do you rich first-class folks suddenly decide to grace us peasants with your presence? Nothing that's happened here could have made it to your swanky first-class cars. So what's your business down here? W Corp has hired us to solve this case. We are fixers. Indeed, fixers. I find it funny that they say fixers and stuff. They always try to hide their own identities, but they all have Limbus Company somewhere in their clothes. Their names and Limbus Company in their clothes. So how can you try to lie and you turn around and your identity is basically all over the place? Faust nodded reluctantly as she affirmed Don Quixote's boisterous declaration. Huh, they got every single one of you as a first-class ticket? Your office must be rolling the dough. Speaking of, Don Honlu, Otis don't have identity cards on their suits. They don't? Don't they have their names too? I might look into the full arts for this, because I know Dante, Ishmael, and a few others have the both name and the Limbus Company name logo on the jackets. A few have the, like False has, the identity card entirely. But I didn't know some didn't have both name and any identification. I actually want to look back into the full arts now. Everyone except the 3 have an ID somewhere. I actually want to go back into get the full arts now, just to see who has and who has not. Wait a goddamn second. So W Corp already knew that this would happen? But, are you really contracted to a wing? Not sure if I trust you. As you must be well aware yourself, contracts and contract fulfillment are of paramount importance for fixers. With that in mind, please recall that W Corp is one of the most secretive wings of the city. NDA, huh? Makes sense. I wouldn't want to deal with them, with those oafy boys either. Anyways, I'm gonna have to ask for proof that you actually contracted by W Corp. This is the master key card given to us by W Corp. I believe that it can open most doors aboard this train. Also produce a master key card from her pocket. I guess there isn't any other way for us to prove that we're actually contracted by W Corp. Key card? So you use this to open the path between the first class and the economic class car. Let's see, W Corp logo. Whoa, nice materials. Looks like you're telling the truth. Alright, I won't pry. Not like there is any cash in it for me either. So, I guess you gotta go all the way down there for your job, huh? Yes. The fixer finally got out of our way, then with one of the free hands pointed toward the opposite door. Well, it's your funeral, ladies and gents, or your victory lap, if you guys are really that good. Lots of luck to y'all. I thank thee for thy words of courage, Fixer Sasha. I shall trust thee with protection of this fortress, prithee. Protect the innocents in my stead. Big Sis, are you a fixer? Are you going to save us from the monsters in the car behind us? Oh? Just as we were about to reach the other end of the car, a little passenger pulled on Don Quixote's coattails. Aye, forsooth. Whoa, are you a famous fixer? Forsooth, once again, thou mayest know me as a profoundly illustrious fixer. Whoa, I wanna be a fixer too, just like... Don't pass the lady. I'm sorry, she's my daughter and... Mwah! Worry not thyself, 'tis no bother at all. Thou must dream of becoming a fixer thyself, little squire. It is fortunate that someone like yourself is aboard the train. Your presence ensured that the child's survival. What you talking about all of a sudden? Come on, no need to keep up appearances between people in the same line of war. I'm just here to collect some sweet emergency contract fees from each and every one of them. Are you two on something? Or what? I see. I don't think Don Quixote needs to hear what she just said. Didn't know you could be like that, Faust. Actually sociable? Be like, what? You knew that there was no way the fixer was actually here to protect them out of pure goodwill, but you decided to go along with Don Quixote's delusions anyway. Am I right? Good move. I was getting worried about what might happen if she started acting out again. You saw the twinkle in her eyes too, right? Don Quixote's always been energetic, but she's been especially bouncy today. Eyes. Oh, oh shit. Give me 1 second. Oh shit. My arm spent too much time bent and now when I stretched it, it hurt. Jesus. Paul strode towards Sasha with a question. I have one last thing to inquire. It'll be 30k on per inquiry. That is quite an unsound decision to make for someone who claims to be in the same line of work as us. Have you considered the possibility that once our contract is successfully completed, we could include references to a particularly cooperative associate officer in our report to W Corp? Whoa, you serious? Well then, let me hear it. Were the eyes of the monsters you faced red by any chance? Ooh. Oh no. Not again the red eyes. Not again the red eyes. Sasha paused, her swinging arms for a moment upon hearing that question, appearing to be either in thought or trying to recall something, then answered. I don't know. Those monsters were all red all over, but is there something special about their eye color? Well, for one, my prosthetic eye is red. That passenger over there got red eyes and... Oh, you there, that lady with a big sword also got red eyes. What, is someone out there paying cash for info on red eyes or something? No, well... It was a question of no significance. Boss nodded lightly in her direction, then opened the door to the next car. Good. Whistle. What the fuck? We jumped straight into Geiger? Straight into Geiger? Ew, come on. It was just as we had feared. The scene that appeared before us looked like it came straight of a painting of hell. You're sure about to have a blast. She was waiting for this for so long now. She was just waiting for this to happen. The painting of hell. So, is she pure rupture? Haste and rupture. Haste and rupture. Pure. Yeah, I saw this. This is so stupid. If this unit's speed is faster than the target's gain base power based on speed difference. Base power plus 1 for every 2, speed difference max 2. This is so insane. This is so insane.
피를 머금을 시간이네.
더 처리할 먹잇감이 있나?
I can only see her eyes.
흑수묘 뜀박질 준비.
목이 피었잖아.
차!
고귀하게.
저런 배인 줄도
감내해야 할 고통.
추잡하네.
The conditionals are either speed or rupture. Without counter, she can do anything special.
꿰뚫려라.
Yeah, I can see. She actually has to activate the...
이 혈투를 승리로 이끌.
Which is it's a pride, so... You can do this. You control her for at least one skill. Get the counter in. I didn't even realize if the counter was in actually. It kind of doesn't matter. Yeah, I just forgot to actually see if it was a power counter or not. No, this one maybe. Oh, this one help. Actually works. I usually forgot to double check if ooh, just so cool. Yeah, I actually forgot to check on normal combats when I'm not thinking at all, because the enemies don't really do much. I tend to actually forget to do stuff.
어버이를 향한 죄책감도 피를 마시는 순간에는 생각나지 않을 거다.
It's just so brain dead that when you just move the chain,
뜀박질 시간.
I just assume it's going to work. The big issue for harder battles, but sure. Use the big skill now, next turn I can use the counter. $15 damage, nice.
숨통 끊기.
목이 피었잖아.
I know one of the skills also gives the same buff. I just didn't actually try to remember which one was. Yeah, Strider. Gives for 2 turns. No, it's the same, 3 turns. So if you pop the big skill, you can do 3 turns normally. And when the buff ends, you use 1 power counter just to refresh the buff. It's pretty straightforward.
꿰뚫려라. 꿰뚫리고.
우리 식구를 건드렸겠다. 피를.
I forgot to check the weaknesses. Sinclair might be helpful here. I still have a free turn.
갑니다.
I actually want to try something that I've never done before. If the battle takes one more turn. But I don't think I'll be able to.
저런 배인 줄도 몰랐네. 너희의 무기로
No, I can't cast Hex Nail. But I can do this. No. I shouldn't. That. Double offset. Nice. Useless. Fucking useless. Their passives. Oh boy. Did I miss something? I think the battle is over. No, they're still alive.
너희의 무기로 이 혈투를 승리로 이끌겠다.
They actually get stronger if you bleed them. But they are similar to vampires. There's not really much to consider danger. There's not really anything dangerous. But how much can I need one envy still? That explains why I still can't cast X-Nail. I wanted to overclock to see what happens. But yeah, besides them getting stronger, the more blade you actually apply to them, it's not really dangerous at all.
흙을 마실걸?
저런 배인 줄도 몰랐네. 너희의 무기로
I can cast this. But will I be able to cast it? I want to see what happens. I just want to see what happens. Oh, it's the same as the corrupted one. So it's a lot more. It's a step down from the corrupted one, I guess. Yeah. Why is there a big bear? Now that you said it, he's being the puppet. Huh. Interesting. The normal one she puppets. In the overclocked one, she's being puppeted. And the corrupted one, I don't remember what happens, but I think it's the same animation. I remember it being similar to this, if it's not the same. Ooh, battling a narrow hallway really takes a lot out of you. Too bad. Making big movements when there's not a lot of room to move around takes more energy than you might think. Especially for people like us who use longer weapons. These enemies weren't much harder than the others we fought earlier, but it was inevitable that their sheer numbers would eventually wear down the sinners. Oh, what are these things, Faust? Silence. Yeah, I've been wondering that too. Why are you so tight-lipped all of a sudden? Those entities are... What do you think those entities are? Huh? Didn't I just ask you the same question? Oh no. Are you giving us a chance to come up with something of... giving us a chance to come up with our own answers first? He's actually happy. Of course, Faust did not confirm nor deny his question, but Sinclair was perfectly capable of interpreting her silence in his own fashion. There were some things I learned after fighting them, I think. These monsters aren't mad at us, nor do they want to attack us because we're an obstacle. That's not why they're attacking us. Quite. It's apparent that they hunger for aught, charging at anyone and anything in a desperate quest of it. Right, that's strange though. I thought hunger or thirst wasn't a thing about these strains. It could be determined from the entity's attack patterns that their offensives were not based on rational thought. The source of this behavior can only be traced back to primal aggressiveness. Yes, and was there anything else? Anything else? Oh yeah, I think they all had red eyes. Their bodies wreathed in blankets of red. I smelled blood, so that's likely what they're made of. Then it must be that the red was congealed, nay, crystallized blood. Thank you all, your input has all been very helpful. It was my turn to start whispering. Wow, what did you learn from that? We are in luck, Dante. I have read upon this subject as a tangent while perusing information regarding our next destination, moments before we boarded the train. And while that will be a useful element in resolving this situation, the sinners have also been a very good source of intelligence when it came to categorizing and identifying important evidence from the available sea of information. Your advice was correct, Dante. You mean you know what to do to blow this case wide open? Nothing can be said with absolute certainty at the moment. However, this will be a good place for us to start. With that, Faust turned around and faced the rest of the sinners. I will now present before you a solution to this predicament. Is there something else we gotta do other than beating the crap out of whatever is in our way? That will not change, no. However, what I'm about to share will give you a better understanding of the purpose behind WCOP's contract and provide us with the possible means of finding the method by which we may complete it. It is very likely that the entity behind the incidents on this train, and by extension every incident of the same nature that has occurred in the previous train trips, is a blood fiend. Oh boy. Oh boy. We are... I actually was suspicious because the passives of the enemies, everything about the enemies implied vampires. I was suspicious because the passives and the looks, everything working with blood, bleeds, do work with bleed. Did you read the passages of your blood fiends? I did, but I don't remember the names. Which is a severe issue I have. I don't remember the names at all. Feed your repressed hunger, my family soul. Blood feast, heart blood thorn, blossom with blood. Not, it's similar, but you can kinda self-destructive dedication. This kinda similar. Only Dawn has a reference here with this one. But I was already
오늘도 부디 정신을 유지할 수 있기를.
imagine that it will be related to the Blood Fiends, because it's too vampire-y. The thing of vampires here is just way too heavily implied. Wait, a Blood Fiend? What's a Blood Fiend? A Blood Fiend? What in the name of wings is that? You, of all people, haven't heard of Blood Fiends? Thought you were a team expert on obscure lore. Apparently, I have not once heard mention of these Blood Fiends. Perchance I have let a magazine article slip in my memory? Don Quixote furrowed her brows, genuinely lost. It was as though the very word sounded alien to her. I thought they were just monsters in stories to scare children at night. They're supposed to be afraid of garlic and sunlight, right? Oh, that sounds a bit different from what I've heard. I heard that their fear of garlic and sunlight is just a rumor, and what they are really afraid of is water. I have been briefed on the existence of blood fiends in the past, when I served as a commanding officer. And I have seen the dregs that they command. Though my memory isn't very clear, I am quite certain that these monsters here do not resemble what I've seen. I've seen one who called themselves a blood fiend among the ranks of the fingers, but the things that blood fiend commanded weren't like these rubber textured ones. There's something off about this one. That one didn't spawn these drags with abandon like this. But aren't you supposed to know this already? Yes, I see that some sinners have encountered blood fiends in the past. A long-winded explanation seems unnecessary. As many of you have stated thus far, the entities we faced in this train do not appear to be blood fiends. In a sense, they are drag-like beings that have failed to become kindreds. They are referred to as blood bags among relevant parties, according to the information I am aware of. I'm just realizing she's saying I a lot. Faust is in this case. She usually swaps between I and Faust many times in a single phrase if allowed. And now she's using mostly I, which explains why I always had a suspicion that she wasn't the only one inside of a single body. Not a terrible name. Why would anyone name someone else Bloodbag? As it has been said prior, it is impossible for passengers to disappear aboard the warp trains under normal circumstances. Though our reserve of intelligence regarding warp trains of W Corp is vast, if incomplete, we could not find a possible exception to the above rule. Within that reserve of intelligence, however, I have discovered that inserting a previously unseen variable into the equation allows for the formulation of a new hypothesis. Wait, you're saying that these blood fiends can completely erase people or passengers from existence? A more accurate descriptor would be to say that they are either dissolved or vaporized. Dissolved. No matter the degree of violence the passengers may indulge in, no matter how severe their wounds may be, the warp trains can revert them to their initial states at the beginning of the journey. Among several interpretations of the word violence involves cannibalization, of course. Ew. However, as the passengers' collective time is itself in moratorium for the duration of the train's operation, Digestion is not a biological process that should be active. In other words, even the devoured passengers could be reconstructed. Huh. If they are merely stuffed into the digestive tract, then I suppose they could gut the passengers to retrieve the chewed up chunks of other passengers and piece them back together via the vein-like things connecting each individual. Okay. This is going into so many weird places. This is... oh boy. However, such is not true for blood bags. Blood bags are, by their true nature, obsessed with blood. Their existence hinges upon supplying themselves with the blood of their victims. It's a place full of love. Boy. And it is said that they must consume a minuscule amount of blood to maintain their forms. Wait, what? Didn't you just say that digestion is not a thing while we're on the train? If I were to continue my deductions, perhaps consumption of blood fiends and blood bags is a fundamentally different process of our consumption of nutrients for energy. To them, blood is a combination, an entailment of something that forms the self, including but not limited to emotions, ambitions, wealth, purpose of existence. Then it must naturally follow that they can spend their blood at will, which is a process isolated from other biological processes such as digestion. I am following even half of that. You exist in the moratorium of time at the present moment, Heathcliff, yet your emotions still persist, do they not? Anger, sorrow, and joy. They continue to spark within you. Well, I suppose they are. Though we cannot tell whether they may be in a state of alteration or whether they remain ensnared in the wheel of creation and destruction, it can be said that emotions once passed exist not in continuation. The passengers' will to live, the worth of this very existence in which they thrive, do they not all gently atrophy into non-existence even amidst the sea's time? Miss Fall seeks to illustrate the similarity between how emotions are to ourselves and how blood is to blood fiends. Jesus Christ. I'm going crazy here. Give me 1 second, I gotta drink some water after this. Can somebody speak in a common language here? Gotcha. So that's why she said their blood is vaporized, huh? If that's the case, then the very blood that is supposed to bind these chunks of flesh together will also evaporate, which means that they can be pieced back together. There is no incongruence in that logic. Everyone fell silent for a moment. It was way too much information to process at once. We didn't even know what to make of them either. I would like to ask a few questions, if you would permit me. Iseng was the first to break the silence. Could it be said that the blood bags are direct creations of the blood fiends? If such is the case, then by which method do they... That information is inaccessible at the moment. False replies, avoiding Iseng's gaze. There isn't anything I can do about this. The sinners will only get more stressed if they find out what's going on with Faust, and that's something we both want to avoid. Inaccessible? Ah, indeed. Now I recall what you have said in the past. This is only a speculation, however. I assume that a form of direct physical contact is needed to turn an individual into a blood bag. If such were not the case, then we, who are likely the greatest obstacles to this entity's goal at the moment, would have been the first to be turned. Indeed. In that case, that villain of a blood fiend must be hiding out somewhere aboard this train. Indeed. If we are to believe the words of the fixer from earlier, then there is a high likelihood in that the horde is advancing in this direction from the back of the train. In other words, continuing down the train cars will lead us straight to the Bloodfiend. Very well. I shan't forsake this opportunity to bring peace to the souls of innocent passengers who have perished by the villain's hands. Dante? It seemed that Don Quixote was now invigorated. The other sinners were also seemed satisfied, now that we had a clearer sight of our goal. False, who stood amidst them, nodded in my direction. Well then, let's go. We're making the best of what's available to us at the moment. Let's move forward for now. Oh boy. Oh, new enemy. The double corp designs are pretty cool already, and now the blood bag version is so cool. They have charge mechanics as well. EU power counter.
고귀하게.
따뜻한
It's pretty funny now that the gimmicks for them is the higher the higher the bleed stacks I inflict, the stronger they become. So now that basically my entire team is bleed, I have to be slightly careful on how to approach the damage I do. Just slightly, I don't think there's much to consider here. The clash values besides the one from Gregor, it's not really dangerous at all. This guy has an axe. The blood weapon, step down. This one would be my giveaway. If they actually showed me. Oh, this one has a hard blood strike. I didn't see. Straight up a giveaway. You are better stacking bleed anyway. I can't deny. The accusations are indeed true. But I kind of don't understand how you're supposed to stack bleed on enemies that clash a lot. Because my biggest issues were the specific enemies that stack, they have much clash power, so the clashes usually go on for long. So unless there is a way to actually do something and make them if there is a way to actually make clashes not happen as much, clash better. Oh, fuck you then. There is a way. I simply still gotta. I have much to learn still. And I think Canto 7 will be my skill check.
이 정도로 나와 공을 맞대?
추잡하네. 이쁘네. 네 피분수.
전부 쳐주게!
This Yoshu clash power is insane. 25 clash for nothing. He's dropping 20 clashes like crazy. I know she's level 50, but holy shit.
용서할 테니 영원히 잠들어라.
Speed conditions with 3-5 haste, yeah. Clash powers is through the roof.
좋아. 생동감이 살아있는 좋은
Dark
공간.
damaged everybody by a lot.
이런 식이었으면 좋겠어.
오늘도 부디 정신을 유지할 수 있기를. 전부 쳐주게!
And the conditions to activate the haste is just so easy. Wait a second. Unuse. Does that mean if the power counter activates during the activation it already has the 5 speed? If it does, it's just crazy. This is way too much. It needs to clash. No, yeah. It's still on use. It means that even the first attack already has the buff. So it's still, you won't have a single turn of a downtime.
무기를 만드는 것만큼은 내가 어버이보다 뛰어났지.
Which is just crazy.
고귀하게
자! 숨통 끊기. 자! 엎드리도록 산초류 경혈 온 라샹.
Where's my damage? Damage Doko? Are they resistant to pierce or something? -1. Oh, they are resistant to lust. So normal pierce. No, some of them are resistant to pierce. And lust, so that explains a lot. It was strange that the big skills are not dealing nearly as much damage. Meanwhile, Gregor is just dishing out hundreds at to all the places.
네 피부에서
아직 죽지는 마라. 엎드리도록. 쏟아내라.
흙을 마실걸? 다음 놈 나와!
So how many enemies? There's been a lot.
갑니다. 나가서 싸워. 뒤는 내가 봐주지.
One thing I've been doing now, paying a lot of attention to, is like always activating Hex Nail. If possible, it's just that powerful. It's pretty cheap and the passive is just useful overall.
이 정도로 나와 검을
And the damage is nothing to scoff at either.
자, 테디. 나를 따라해 보는 거야. 짜잔.
135 damage like that. Basically for free, and now the passive is
목이 비어 턱을 마실 걸.
추적하네.
it applies extra bleed.
이 혈투를 승리로 이끌겠다.
Can I find it? So the passive, when inflicted bleeds, it inflicts defense down, and if it inflicts bleed, it helps with extra bleed. If the enemy takes HP damage, it also inflicts curse for free. It's the best eagle I can just spam easily, and since it helps my team overall, it's the only one I try to spam as much as possible.
이 정도로 나와 검을 맞대?
It also becomes since my team can build easily towards it, so it's helpful. It's pretty helpful overall. When I reach the point where I can use something else, I can move off of it. But for now, it's my best option. Manager Squire, halt! Behold this poor fellow, he lives still. Don Quixote, her round eyes wide open, began sprinting somewhere. No, stay away from me, you monsters! Hey man, we're not those monsters, alright? Huh? You're starting to mutate too, aren't you? You mustn't be turning into some bug-like monster. What? No, this is... Gregor stumbled for words before chuckling and casting his gaze toward the floor in disbelief. Yeah, well, no surprise there, I guess. Suppose there's no way to tell you right away whether this arm is a monster, a prosthetic, or whatnot. It is possible that you are mistaken due to his bioprosthetic being of an older, outdated make that is now rarely seen in the city. Prosthetic. That's a relief. I thought those crazy bastards were trying to break in again. As you can see, my legs are messed up. I had no choice but to hide in here. So, what are the W Corp employees doing aboard this train? Huh? You're right. From what we found about the WAF trains, through the identities, I can't imagine why any of them would ever willingly board this train. You're the contract fixers, right? We were ordered to assist you with your contract. It said we, but I'm the only one left. Every single one of my colleagues suddenly began losing their minds in that car over there. And... this cannot be! Faust, is there truly no way to cure the blood bags? My apologies, the access to that information is prohibited at this moment as well. Though her voice and expression were both as serene as always, there was something gloomy about the way she said it. I may have been too reliant on Faust in too many places. Faust muttered in a barely audible voice. I don't know what can I do to help the Sinas in a situation like this, either. I'd also grown too used to Faust's omniscience because I could always trust it to be there for me. I was starting to realize that I don't have the means to dig myself out of a hole like this. No, maybe I was too reliant on the Sinas as a whole. When the time comes for them to depend on me, when they can no longer stand on their own, can I manage them, lead them to the right answers? Doubt, colored with fear, begins to rise like an ominous plume of smoke. Well, what can I do, right? The agent struggled to some corner of the room with his wounded leg and pulled on a lever. They made good use of the space, and the wall behind what had initially appeared to be a folding chair for employees spun open. Oh, what in the name of the wings is this? Perchance thou hast hidden a here weapon most powerful, a weapon most feared by the Blood Fiends? That holds some resemblance to a capsule we saw on the first class car. But why would that thing be here? The cleanup agent slumped into the pod that appeared in the wall. Finally. What is it that thou seekest to do? W Corp prepared a small hibernation pod for employees in case of these emergencies. Verily then, huh? Good luck with the rest of the mission. He just ran away. With that, he settled into the capsule and shut the hatch behind him. When the door covering the pod closed, only the folding chair and the wall covered with viscera remained. He's gone. There he goes. He has departed the scene. We blankly stared at the wall the agents disappear into. Well then, I guess we gotta... Let's move on to the next car. Keep on keeping on. There's only one thing to do.
좋아. 생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 됐고.
Refilled.
다음 먹잇감도 이런 식이었으면 좋겠어.
So we are now 9 out of 15. Not really, it hasn't been a long stream, but I think it's a good time to stop. Just stop at the halfway point. Because I need to do stuff anyway, so it has to happen. So, if not done, yeah. I have to do stuff today. But it happens. Tomorrow I will be back, same times as usual. Yeah, it happens. Because I don't think I would have the time to finish anyway if I hadn't stuff to do. But yeah, it happens. Yeah, in any case, thanks very much for you all watching. I'll be back here tomorrow, same times as usual, 5 p.m. UTC, 11 a.m. CST. Thank you very much for watching. See you all next time.